I think I have enough juice. Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jamie. It is Monday, the 25th, Monday again. I did a video earlier when I was downstairs taking care of the dogs, but there was no sound. So I'm not sure what's going on. I'm going to try this again, and then I got to get going. But here's what I got going on for the week. I am still in Volta as I do this video. For the day, I'm up 240 bucks, but I'm still down because in Robinhood, my goal is to take it to 100 grand by the year end. And I don't want to add any money in there, so it looks like, it's just like me just putting money in there. I would rather just take my losses and whatever profits I can to build it up over a whole year instead of just taking the money out throughout the year, which is what I've been doing. Now I use other platforms like Webull and Thinkorswim and E-Trade and stuff like that. And then for cryptocurrencies, I really just use Coinbase and a couple other little ones. But anyway, so this is what I got going on right now. 3,000 shares of Volta. I'd be willing to get more. It had dipped down. I'm not going to do all the technical analysis right now, but there's a guy I'm going to kind of flip you over to shortly. Just give him a shout out. He did a great job. But in my watch list on Webull, I have Google at the top, but Volta is up a little bit today. It's up 3%, which is good. And then on the chart this morning, when I was like looking at it, just seeing where it was going to go from last week, it was like, seemed like it was on an uptrend, from where it's been. Like if you look at it from there, I'm like, oh, wow, like maybe it's going to start to recover. It went down to 213 and I had averaged dollar cost average in a little bit more and got my cost down below $3 to new 295. And then, you can see it just kind of drop back down to 211, so below. So a new all-time high, new all-time low, but opened up a little bit stronger. So it doesn't mean that it will continue up. It could go back down to that 211 or lower. But overall, I mean, I am an investor. I'm really not a trader. I don't consider myself a trader. I like to buy companies now. That's where I'm at. I like to buy into companies. That's why I'm really watching Google and where I want to kind of start getting involved there. My question with Google was, do I wait till after the 20-to-1 split, or do I get in early and get some of that momentum where it drives all? I think it'll go up. I mean, I don't know how high it will go, but I mean, if it goes up, then I could lock in some profits, and then when it splits, maybe I could use that just to buy the 100 shares. I want to have at least 100 shares, maybe even 200 of Google, and then when it goes back up, I don't know if it'll go back to 2 or 3 grand, but or even higher. But I think that selling covered calls for me has been a great strategy. That's what I like to do, and I think Google's a great company. But Volta, I think, has a great future from what I could see. This gentleman over here, I'll give him that plug real quick. His name is Tom. His channel is called Talkin' Investing. And he does a great job of talking about the fundamentals, like the company itself, why he believes that for him, Volta is a good hold, and he's dollar cost averaging himself. So Tom, he will break down, like he talks about the same stuff that I've been reading about. They're adding 1,000 more charging stations, that their earnings report, even though they're not profitable, they still are up substantially, year over year as to the growth of the company, and they continue to expect to do the same. Who is this guy below me? But they have a bright future. The sector is going to add 500,000 more charging stations as the EV market grows, and so he covers a lot of stuff that you might already heard, some stuff that maybe is a little bit more in depth than I'm going to offer you. But that's part of you doing your own due diligence and trying to figure out, is this a company I should get involved with, or at least add to your watch list or add to your portfolio in some regard. So I think that no matter what happens for me for Volta, I would sell a bit of the shares that I have. I only have 126 in Webull, but of the 3,000 shares, I either will add more if it dips down lower, which it very well may do, or if it does become profitable, I might sell half, or so, give or take, just depending on where it goes. But ultimately, Google is what I'm watching. All right, so Tesla is supposed to do a 2-to-1 split. I believe that's going to happen next year, from what I read. And I also read that it would be a 2-to-1, not a 5-to-1, which is what I was hoping for. But that won't be until later. So that's something that I'm watching. I love Tesla. I think Tesla's a great company and a good stock to hold. I am watching Amazon. I have it down there. So we'll see what happens with that one as well. That's going to be a 20-to-1 split if that happens. But Google, when I look at it, I mean, it's up today, but I look at the Wall Street analysts across whatever platform you look at. I mean, there's 51 here. Obviously, it's a huge company that are all saying it's a strong buy and buy. And it's currently at 2,400 and change, and with a low of 3,000 and a high of 4,100, almost 4,200. So a lot of upside there, but it's a company that whether you have one share or thousands of shares, good for you. But I think it's something that I really want to get into and hold long term. So that's what I got going on right now as far as stocks go. Real estate is really what I'm focused on. I was just talking to my boss who had some really interesting strategies that he shared with me. I think the next video I do is not going to be about stocks. It's going to be about a HELOC, where you take some of your cash that you have, right, and then hopefully you can use, equity from an investment property or your primary residence to either buy something cheap and flip it and make a profit and pay it right off, or maybe you get into something else. Maybe it's a 20-30% down or 10% down if it's making you money, and you get a good cash and cash return. So that's kind of stuff I want to say. Here's what I'm doing, and here's how I did it, and here's some of the challenges I ran into. So I'll break that down. But anyway, I hope you guys have a good Monday, and hopefully I have audio on this short little video, and I'll talk to you next time.